Okay, so the third and final prerequisite for our local development stack is we need a code editor. Again, DBT is a code-based tool. We're going to be writing SQL queries and we're going to have files and folders. We need a way to easily work with this. And we also need something that has a terminal, preferably because it's a Python package. So we want to be able to quickly run commands. We want to do this all in one place. And so I recommend VS Code, which is Visual Studio Code. There's other ones, but for this training, we're going to show you how to download Visual Studio Code. And while this is created by Microsoft, it's something that can be used on any operating system. So you can use it on Microsoft, Mac, or Linux. I'm on a Mac right now, so that's what we'll do. If we open up a search engine and search for Visual Studio Code, we can go to the site. And here it's going to recognize that I'm on a Mac. But there is something subtle that we need to look out for here. I'm going to click Other Platforms. And when we click this here, we can see all the options. So if you're on Windows, you have your options here, Linux, and Mac. So you go ahead and pick whichever one you want, and it should work the same. In my case, I'm working actually on the M1 Mac. It's one of the newer ones, so it has this Apple Silicon chip, which frankly has still some issues at the time of this recording. And it has some issues working with Python and DBT. So to avoid that, what I recommend here, and really what's going to save you a lot of time if you're on the M1, and really on any of them, is to install the Intel chip for Mac. So if you're on a Mac, just do this one. If you're on the other ones, obviously pick which makes sense. And we're going to install it. I'm going to install it just on my desktop, VS Code Darwin. It's just the executable, or it's a zip file, I should say. So if I open up my desktop here, I can see we have this zip file and it automatically created this here. So it created the application, it downloaded it. So let's double click this. It's open from the internet. Yes, go ahead. Open up my other screen. Let's bring this over and we can see it's loading up here. Might take a minute because it's the first time. And we're all set. So we have this here. It's a code editor. We have up over here, you can open up some folders. We don't have anything yet. We'll touch on that in a moment. There's a lot of great features here. I'm not going to get too far into it because again, out of the scope of this training, but now with this installed, we have Visual Studio Code. We have our code editor. We have Git installed and we have Python. Next, we're going to start to look at getting some of the cloud platforms set up, or we'll have GitHub and Snowflake, which we'll need to kind of bring it all together. So we'll see you at that lesson here at the next one.